Hello everyone. Ever face tension while creating a speech because you go and research stuff and you only thought about introduction, body, conclusion? Yes, your speech is going to get a bit boring. So I learned this technique and it's called the space trick, which is actually fantastic for creating speeches to leave a long lasting impact. And also, if you're not sure about what to do and how to create a speech, you can use this technique. It's called the space technique. So I'm going to quickly share my screen and show you how it's basically like. So, firstly, I'll share it with you. Uh, so as you can see, I'll just so space technique. So this is called the space technique, and yes, this space technique is fantastic for creating anything. So if you have any speech prep tension, this video is surely for you. Yes, it's for you. So let's quickly start. So this is an acronym basically, like acronym, and space here, each letter means something. So basically there are 5 components to create a speech, and first we'll start with the letter S. So space technique starts with the letter S, and it's going to be the starting body, conclusion, no, starting, premise, actual reasons, call to action, ending. The first letter is starting, where you put the hooks, question, quote, story, imagine. Now, when I was learning this, I was like, okay, hooks are there, okay, hook, question is there, quote is there, story is there. Can we put something more intriguing? Then I was like, okay, how about something that makes the audience a visual in their mind, like paint a picture in their mind. So you will use the imagine technique. So basically what you'll do is go to the stage and say, imagine that this is happening with intense tone and vibrations and pitch, and you speak that. Guess what will happen? The audience will be hooked like a magnet. Now, let's give an example. Let's say that we're talking about the students, the secret techniques that smart student use. Okay, so what you can say, imagine being a topper, earning the good grades, and finally the respect of your peers. Your parents are proud of you, and your marks have shown not the hard work, but smart work. Guess what? A lot of toppers use secret techniques which help them top, get first place in exams, and sometimes excel, that people start comparing yourselves. And if you want to be from an average student to a topper, then you've come to the right destination. You speak like that, the audience is stunned. So, this is one of the hook that I love the most, and I think it can be used in almost every speech possible. Now we have the hooks, which are question, quote, story. Story is also kind of imagination, but then it does not specifically have to start with imagine, and it can be a real life story or a fictional or a non-fictional story. So you can use a story as well. You can use a quote. These this quote question, I think it will more be used for formal speeches. However, if you're giving a lecture to younger people, or you are actually giving it to your own class and it's quite informal, you can use more of the informal hooks, which draws them more quickly. If your audience consists of respected people, you need to use the hooks that will hook them related to what they're interested in. So you need to study your audience before you deliver your speech. I think that's extremely important for crafting any speech. Now, starting is done. Let's say you have made your flabbergasting starting, impeccable. So now what you have to do is talk what your speech is. Yes, people start with, hi, my name is dash dash dash. I'm in this grade, and I am going to talk about this. But if you do this starting with hook, and then you go to the premise, which is basically about introducing the speech, the audience is hooked. So after the hook, you obviously need it because you need to tell your audience what you're talking about. The thing is, I have heard a lot of speeches that do the hook right, but after that, the whole speech they forget to tell what their speech is about, and this often leaves the audience disturbed and bored. So the speech and tell the audience what's in it for them. If nothing is there for them, then they're not going to be interested, trust me. So you need to introduce your speech, introduce, and you just have to, craft it in such a way that even your premise looks amazing. Now we have A for actual reasons. This is the main part in a speech, body. So, actual reasons is the actual body, the cause and effect, advantages, disadvantages, pros and cons, the important climax if it's a story. Everything comes in this part. And your actual reason must be concise, clear, and well structured because the audience doesn't like an alphabet soup. Yeah. So we need a proper actual reason, actual body, well structured, formed. And the thing is, if you're speaking and you don't have enough, it will be quite difficult for you to structure it well. So always have more information than you even add in your speech. So if you forget something in case, you can speak it, and whatever is not there in your speech, you can still add it and frame it on your own. So next is the C. The C is for my favorite component, that is CTA, call to action. And there was a speech for Independence Day. And I think a lot of people use this. It is this speech which, you say that, can you please give a huge round of applause for all the freedom fighters and the soldiers guarding our nation who are like angels. So when you speak that moment, the audience feels that they're part of the speech and they clap. So they do action. So you need to make the audience feel important. If the audience does not know what's in it for them, if they don't feel that it's important, then they will not be interested at all in your speech. Even if your topic is very interesting, but after a few moments they realize speech has nothing to do with them, they won't be interested. So make the audience feel important. So for example, if you're talking about global warming, let them say a pledge, let them say an oath, let them promise something. Do that and you will see that CTA will become a fantastic tool for your speech. Next, we have the ending. Relief to the speaker. So, for this ending, you need to end with a proper hook too. Yeah. Let's say you've done the starting as imagine. The call to action you said to give a round of applause. And let's say you end the last segment with a question. It works, right? It works. Now, let's say the topic is global warming. Now, you ask the audience, imagine living in a place like this, and then you go to the call to action. They're like, can you promise me something related to global warming? Like, can you promise that you will not do this or you'll take small steps ahead so expect a future that is good for our younger generations also? And then for the ending, you ask a question that is global warming really going to end? And you can answer it, but sometimes it's better to ask a question that leaves the audience with awe. So, a call to action is sometimes enough. Yeah, that's right, because you can't overload things. But in case you feel that your call to action is not enough and your ending needs something, so add a hook or just end with power. If you're speaking something motivating, end with power. I think it's very to end with power. If your ending is important, it leaves the entire speech memorable. Okay, so this is the reason why the CTA is there, because the ending often leaves a significant impact on the listener. So, this technique is for you, absolutely, whoever the person is, if they're going to speak on the stage and they want a structured speech that leaves the audience in awe, you can use this technique. Speak powerful and rock the stage, and I know you can do it. So, thank you everyone, and have a wonderful day. And remember that this space technique is a fantastic tool. You can use it for any speech. Hooks are really important. And if you want to attract people with your speech, you're supposed to use as much hooks you can and make the audience feel special. So, this is all for today. And if you want to learn more about public speaking, communication skills, English, and more, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Thank you.